Am I start?
Am I too close, John?
Blessed is she who believes that God will fulfill every promise spoken to her. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's the divas with a destiny, books, purpose, and accessories. Yes, we're favored by God, approved and affirmed. Here to awaken your destiny, yeah, yeah, yeah. You've tuned into the Healing Huddle, where we turn to the Word and the struggles. We are God's royalty. Whatever God promised, it belongs to me. Yes, whatever God said, it is our decree.
Good evening, and welcome back to the Healing Huddle podcast. I am Auntie the Diva, and that is
Lovable Latasha!
where you at, Natasha?
Girl, in the atmosphere. Monday is Monday for
Come
me.
on. All right, all right, all right. We have made it. We have made it back. I have missed you all. Truly, it has been a whirlwind of excitement, ups and downs, highs and lows. But if you know me, you know I believe in keeping it moving, doing what we need to do to make things happen, moving forward to the next. And so we made it back to another moving forward Monday evening. Don't know where you are, but wherever you are, we're blessed that you've tuned in to be. You may be in your living room, you may be having car chronicles, you may be on the couch, wherever you are. We're thankful, we're grateful that you tune in today to just be a part and help us support and encourage someone else other than ourselves, because a lot of times we get caught up and we're on the me, woe is me kind of thing. I said, but you know what? The Healing Huddle, we are here for everyone. We're here for everyone. So however we can be a blessing to you, you and you, girl, sister, queen, kings, listen, we are here. So Lovable Latasha wants to welcome you, and I'm going to let her do that. And we're going to roll into the chat.
Well, welcome everyone. This is your co-host, Lovable
I can't
Latasha.
hear
I'm back
I
on
can't
Earth with
hear
you.
her.
Yes, I am. It's so great to have you all join us, and you are in
I
for a
cannot hear
fantastic treat.
Natasha.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are in. You are in for an amazing, amazing treat. So buckle up, buttercups.
Here, let's do it. Let's do it. Well, we're so excited and delighted and ignited to be back on the platform with you. So thankful that you have tuned in. We have a beautiful, amazing guest. She is a author. She is a CEO, and she's been in the entrepreneur business for a few years. And so God has blessed her. But I'm going to let her introduce herself. She is Robin Davis, but I'm going to let her tell you who Robin Davis is, because she wears many hats like we do, but we're anointed and appointed for that. So would you please introduce yourself to our platform?
Yes, again, thank you guys for having me here. I am Robin Davis. I am a wife, I am a mother, a grandmother. I'm also an entrepreneur, I'm an author, and I'm a woman of faith that turned her pain into purpose.
Come on. To God be the glory. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm going to ask you one thing. I'm going to ask you one question. You said several things, but if we take away Arthur, wife, mother, grandmother, entrepreneur, who are you, Robin Davis?
I am the faithful woman. I believe in God and I trust and I try to give people a chance. And I'm just Robin Davis. I like for people to talk to me and get to know me for who I am.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it, because most people, when they, say that, and of course, we want them to know who you are. You have experience and been exposed. And so God has given you some expertise in some areas. And so we
Mhm.
thank God for that. We won't minimize that. But if we take the titles away, we've got to know who we are. It is
Yes.
important. And so many people don't. They said, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm an auntie, I'm a grandmother, I'm that. Okay, you all those things. But at the end of the day, or at the top of your day, who are you before those things? And so thank God that you know who you are without a doubt.
Yes.
I'm grateful for your answer. And so as we get started, we want to thank you all for tuning in again. If you're just tuning in, we have Arthur Robin Davis on the platform, and she is a woman that wears multi hats. She's anointed and appointed for this season to do what she does. So we're excited and delighted to have her here. But I'm going to ask you to please share the episode. Please go to YouTube, tune in. We're live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. And so Instagram is kind of, they do a little funky, so they don't want, us doing live there. But nevertheless, we are here and we're moving forward. So we're going to be chatting it out with Arthur Davis on this evening. And so I'm going to ask you to I'm going to give you heads up. Go ahead and get your tissue because you're probably going to need it. There's several things that we will hit before we get started with this chat because her book is on grief. And grief is a real thing. If you've lost anyone that is important to you, that you knew, or that made a difference in your life, you understand that grief is not to be taken lightly. Grief is a real thing. And so for me, I've lost my mom, my best friend, my everything, my dad, and my brother. Lost two nephews, and a best friend. So I've experienced it on several levels, but it is rough. All of it is hard. All of it is rough. And my sister-in-law, Lord forgive me, I've lost several, but my mother's life was just different. It was different. But we're going to get into that. So before we do that, let's start with an icebreaker. Latasha, would you give Arthur Davis a word and Robin give us one word? So if it is hot and she says dog, if she says hot, you say dog. Whatever. It's one word, not a sentence, not a paragraph, but one word that comes to mind, whatever word that she gives you, and then I'll give you the second word because we know that words are important. So just want to kind of see where we are at with that.
Okay.
All right, Miss Robin, Survivor.
I didn't hear you, Tasha. I can't hear you.
Survivor.
For some
Can you
reason,
hear
I
me?
cannot hear her at all.
Survivor.
Ooh, survival. Faith.
Okay.
Strength.
Good. All right. And I'm going to give you destiny.
Destiny. Let's see. Mm, Purpose.
Come on. Okay. And we know you three, but we gonna let it go. That we're gonna take care of that right there. So that works for me. She said survivor, and you said what was that? What did you
Fate.
get?
What?
Faith. Okay.
Faith. Mm-hmm.
Takes faith to survive, not only survive, but for me, thrive.
Faith.
I'm a thrive. I don't just survive, but we thrive. We're built
That's right.
differently on this side. When we're walking
Yes.
with God, we're built differently. So it is important that we know that we can and will always thrive as long as God is foremost in our lives. So
That's true.
good word. Second word was destiny, and you said purpose. Absolutely. So I second that. So that was really good. But thank you. So we're going to roll into the chat. Remember, we're chatting with Arthur Davis, Robin Davis, and Arthur is CEO and a beautiful woman of God of faith that walks and stands on what she believes, which is the word of God. So we're going to tune in and I ask you to just, if you have questions, please drop it in the chat. We're going to do our very best to try to get to them. You may have a question concerning how she's dealing with whatever or how she started. And then before the end of the show, we will definitely let her know how she can be contacted. However, it may be email, it may be whatever platform that she chooses to give you. But please, ma'am, sir, drop your questions and just give us a moment. So if somebody's going to catch it. So Level Tasha is going to put her extra focus on, and we're going to try to make sure we do that. It's difficult for myself, if you know that you know, but we're going to try to respond. So Queen Robin, let's talk.
Okay.
Let's start. I think we want to probably start with your entrepreneurship because I don't want to get into other talking about the book and then I get messed up. So I want to start where we can talk and I can hear and respond accordingly. So,
Okay.
what? Tell them the type of business. What type of business have you in? Because I know you have a couple of things that you do. So please share.
Well, I start by saying about 4 years ago, that's when I started my business. I decided to step out on faith, something that I always wanted to do. And with starting my business, I started with Davis Notary Service. With Davis Notary Service, I do notary, anything that you need notarized. It could be a marriage certificate, a power attorney, it can be a will as well. And I moved into that, and I also have Genesis Testing Solutions. Now, with Genesis Testing Solutions, we do drug screens. We also do DNA testing. We do fingerprinting. And I have actually partnered with Idemia. So right now I'm doing TSA pre-check as well as quick also.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, okay. So, what? How much comes into? What is the? I know you do the blood work and things like that.
Mhm.
So, what exactly all do you do under that? Is it just maybe for
It could be
businesses?
phlebotomists.
Mm-hmm.
It could be some phlebotomists. And what I do is I partner with different companies. And that's how I actually do my business with them.
That is awesome. That is
Mhm.
awesome. Okay. That is awesome. So now, are you doing this all alone? Because you mentioned three different entities of business. So, are you doing this alone?
Well, actually, I have two beautiful women that come in and help me. I have one that comes in every single day. I have another one that comes as needed, and I'm telling you right now, they are great. I don't know what I do without them.
Well, that is awesome. So that is a
Yes.
blessing to be to start your business, and then you're
Hmm.
able to hire someone full time that's in every day, and then you have a part time that comes as needed. So, and then
Yes.
you're there working as well. So
Yes,
that's
I'm there every single day. I am working on a point to where I don't have to be there every single day. So hopefully, with prayer and it'll come soon.
you said it will come soon.
Hmm.
Okay, and you
Yes.
said you started the business 4 years ago.
I started the business 4 years ago, and it was amazing the way it got started because, like I said, I decided to step out on faith.
Okay.
And when I first put in my 2 week notice, when I did it, I prayed about it, I did it, and I stepped outside and I said, Lord, what have I done? I say, what have I done? And I heard the Lord say, trust the process. I also heard him say that my faith walk is not for me, it's for someone else. So someone else had to see me walk that faith walk in order for me to go forward. And as I was doing my business, probably about in 2 years later, 23, my mother-in-law had passed. So during that time my mother-in-law passed, I was able to go be with my husband a little bit more, going to the hospital or either taking care of things for my mother-in-law. So I felt like me having my own business, if I wouldn't have had that business, I probably wouldn't have been able to spend as much time with her as well as him.
That is awesome. That
Mhm.
is awesome. It is such a blessing
Yes.
to be a entrepreneur. So I can speak from experience. It is such a blessing to be a CEO, and it's only by God's grace. And so you're absolutely right because
Yeah.
you get to make your schedule. You get to change some things if needed when it's necessary, and you don't have to answer to someone else.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with answering to someone, but I'm saying it is important. So when life happens, as it
Mhm.
did for you with your husband's mom, and then other things transpired later, you were
Yes.
able to do that and shake and move without, even questioning, how can I do this? This is where I'm at. I've got to, go here, do this, do that. And so you're
Hmm.
at the freedom. So freedom is a beautiful thing. It is a
Very.
beautiful thing. A
It
beautiful thing.
is.
So I applaud that.
Yes.
Lovable Latasha, you have questions for Robin.
Yes, well, first of all, congratulations on your success with your businesses. And the best is next to come.
Come on. I love that
Now
The
part.
best
you're
is
gonna
next
have to
to come.
repeat that question for Latasha because I cannot hear her at all.
I
for
am
some reason.
Oh
not sure what's happening. She was wanting to just simply congratulate you on your success and
Thank
to
you.
let you know, giving you heads up that the best is next. It is next. You
Yes,
know,
I believe
most
that.
people would say the best is yet to come. It is yet to come, but she said the best is next. So
Yes,
continue to do what you're doing, and she's applauding you. And so we bless God for that.
thank
Uh,
you.
absolutely. Now you mentioned you lost your mother-in-law.
I lost my mother-in-law in 2023, and 2025, I lost my mother.
Mm,
So
mm,
losing both of two women that was very special to me, that kind of led me into writing this journal as well.
okay. Okay. And what is
Mhm.
the name of the journal?
The name of the journal is Learning to Breathe Again.
Learning
And the
to.
reason why I named it Learning to Breathe Again, a lot of times whenever we going through grief, we can't breathe. We have anxiety. It feels like something is in our chest, holding us down. So learning to breathe again is also me learning to live again.
My.
Yes.
I know about that all too well.
Hmm.
All too well. Latasha, can you hear her well? I'm not sure if she could hear me. Latasha, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
I don't know
I
if you
might be
can
muted.
expound on that.
Say yes. I can hear Ms. Robin well. I don't know why she can't hear me, but I can definitely piggyback on that.
Okay.
Lost my husband 15 years ago. So that was
Mhm.
in 2011. Lost my mom going on 5, 6 years. That was 2019. So, and a lot of friends in between. So I understand it is a process.
It
It is
is.
a process, and it's an everyday walk, literally.
It,
And I always describe it
I wish I could hear her.
um, as a by moment type journey
moment
because
by
yeah, I can wake up this morning feeling great with great attitude, and then all of a sudden it's I call them waves. The wave will come and be like, whoa, where did that come from? So I can relate and I can understand, and it's just it's a part of life's journey that nobody wants to take that walk down.
yeah, yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. So for me, definitely,
Did you share with me what Latasha was saying?
I'm not sure why this is for whatever reason, but she was just saying she definitely can relate because
Hmm.
she's lost her dad, she's lost her
Okay.
mom, and other family members, along the way. And she lost
Hmm.
her husband 15 years ago. She lost her husband. So she was just saying for her, it is definitely not just for her, but for everyone, basically. But her take on it is a moment by moment journey.
Yes, it is.
You can wake up feeling great, positive,
Hmm.
just, refreshed. And all of a sudden, somewhere throughout the day, she calls it a wave of
Exactly.
feelings that'll come, something that'll just come. And it's like, you could be up top and all of a sudden it'll just kind of
Hmm. Hmm.
it's like a damper on your day or just in the middle of whatever. So I can attest to that. And like I said, having lost the most dearest people in my life and my mom by far, I love and miss my daddy and my brother. But every death is different. So I'm 10 years of grieving my mom. And I can honestly say that I am still in a place
Hmm.
that's rougher than any others. And so for me, I grieve her harder. I'm still
Hmm.
at a different place when it comes to my mom. It's like so pretty rough. It's emotional for me, my dad and my brother, but siblings and grief is different. And so for me,
Okay.
with my
Hmm.
brother, it's different than my dad, of course,
Hmm.
but I can't really, say it, but it's different. My mom, I'm still grieving harder, and she passed before they all did, but it's just different. The relationship that I have with her You know, we just like white cars, just everything. My daddy's girl as well, but it's just different.
Yes, it is. I can. When
I
I
just
created the journal, I created over 21 days. It's a 21-day journal,
okay.
and it have devotions in it, and it have scriptures. And Latasha was talking about, you can just easily cry.
Mhm.
Day 4 talks about tears come easily. You
Yes,
can
yes.
be just sitting at your desk, just doing your work, and you'll see something or think of something of that loved one, and tears will just start coming down your eyes.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
been time I can be sitting at the red light and I think of something funny my mom have done or said, and tears to just start rolling out of my eyes. It's
Mm,
uncontrollable. Grief is uncontrollable. It's something that we all want to go through, and everyone just grieve different.
absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. You know, and I know people will say, well, it's been XYZ and you should be over it. Well, first of all, there is no
there's no
clock.
time.
There's no clock on how long you should. And yes, the Bible tells us there's a time to
Hmm.
grieve, but who's to say the amount of time it
That's
takes
right.
for you versus what it takes for me or what it took for Latasha or whomever, that may be watching. So we all, as you said, we all grieve differently. We all do.
Yeah,
So I try to think for me, I try to think about the funny things that she says.
exactly.
So my family knows I can imitate pretty much anybody. And I don't know how, but it's something that God has given me. And so if I'm sharing something and they be like, girl, you sound just like her. You sound like him. And how do you, I don't know. And I don't, it's so funny. And my family is a family of comedians down to
Hmm.
Latasha, I mean, cousins, we just have this. I don't know what God, but God just did something different with the Washingtons, and that's all I can say. He did something different, and we have a little extra going on. And
Way
so when
different.
I'm with my siblings, and cousins, it's like I'm in my element. Like what?
Hmm.
And so my sister-in-law, Steph will say, girl, if you don't sound like no, oh my, and I'll say what she says. And when I'll say something else, when I want to be closer to my mom, I call her friends, her girlfriends, my
Okay.
aunties, and I could call them and they know what I need. And so we'll get to
Mhm.
laughing and talking. And so something she done, as you said, and I'm talking like her,
Uh-huh.
she'll say, Gal, you sound like Esther. Oh my God. And so when I need that, I pick up the phone and I could call any one of them and they just help me through that
Exactly.
moment, that time. So
Yeah.
I can say, so I think I
Yeah.
always try to think of the fun things,
That's exactly what I do. I try to think of all the fun things, all the things that she have
yeah,
said, even the things times that she made me mad. I
that
just
too.
sit back and I just laugh about it. And my husband, he's so good at it. He's good at imitating my mother. I can't believe it. And sometimes he'll say something and I just fall out and laugh.
Right, right,
So
right.
he's definitely good about that. And then, of course, I have a niece. My niece, Alacia, she's the same way. She's good
Hmm.
about imitating grandmama as well.
Okay.
So we have a lot of memories. We have a lot of pictures. We have a lot of videos.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of saying things that she have said and done. And because of those, it helps us to live.
To
It
get to
helps us to breathe.
that's
You
right.
know. So I enjoy every moment, every video that I look at her.
Absolutely. That is so important. That's a good thing. That's what I said. Memories are forever. It will outlive us all. And
Hmm.
so
Yes.
blessing is that we have those to go back and look at pictures and things. I took a old picture of my mom, and this picture was in the I would say probably early 70s.
Hmm.
I had the picture, and so just days ago, I put it and I went to my page and I created a little something going to it and made it come alive.
Uh-huh.
So I always tell people, I said, you think Medea was hell on wheels. I said, baby, you had met Queen Esther. You have no idea. My daddy would say that my mama was a small piece of leather, well put
Hmm.
together. Like, listen, I said, Medea, I said, baby, Medea ain't got nothing on that woman.
So,
And so I put the picture in and made it come out, and she was sitting there like, and what? Yeah, and what?
oh,
What's some other things you would have said back in the day? But she found God. So when I say the picture, they was like, "Wow!" My brother said, "Girl, you are hilarious." He said, "That ain't Queen Esther live and in color." So and so much we
Yes,
do, but it's just a blessing to have memories
it
and we just
definitely
talk
is.
about. It. So yeah, so I applaud you for taking the time to write the book because you know what? There's a book where my mom was in transition.
Mhm.
They gave me the book. They gave it to me and my dad, and I didn't read it at first. Just had no idea what was in the book. It's just the hospice people gave it, and it was called "Gone from Your Sight." And they gave us this book,
Wow.
and I put the book in my purse. I went back to Atlanta, going on with life, and I had to go to physical therapy one day. And so, as they were putting some heat and give my treatment, I decided to pull out the book. And so, I pulled the book out, and I'm in the room. Turn the lights out while I'm relaxing, getting treatment, and all of a sudden, I'm just boo,
Ah,
I'm just losing it. And so they come in, Miss Connie, what's wrong? But I had not read the book. I didn't know what was in the book. So when I saw the book, everything that I was witnessing my mom doing was in the book. And I'm thinking, who could have written a book? I mean, from everything from her picking the flowers off her pajamas and her gown to twitching the tissue paper to just, and then when she stopped eating and the nurse said that she's kind of in transition, she knows that she's leaving.
wow.
That thing did something to me. And she's in the book, the nurse wrote it. She was a hospice nurse for over 30
Mhm.
years. So that was like the best thing she could have done. And so she was saying in the book, like she knows that she's already in transition. Her
Wow.
mom is telling her she doesn't need food anymore. So she stopped eating. She barely, we could hardly get her to drink. Mama, you got to drink. Mama, please. Mama, you're going to starve yourself to death. And so I heard something just the other day. They were talking about the symptoms with Alzheimer's, and when they're in that stages, there are stages of it, and their mind lets them know that they don't make them think they don't need food anymore, so they stop. So some of them they starve themselves to death with drinking, and she went through all of that, and I was like blown away. So I just freaked out. They had to go to the car and get my husband to come in. He's like, "What's wrong with her?" They said, "Oh no, she was in the room and she just was in there like going in." And he
Wow.
got in there and he just came in like, "Babe, what's wrong?" And I said, "The book, the book, the book." I didn't know what. So when he looked at the book, it was like, "Oh wow." So I
Yeah.
said, if you haven't read that book, I would recommend that to anybody,
Okay.
everybody
Okay.
that has
Yeah.
someone that
It
is
does help.
in
Yeah.
transition, or sick, or just
It's
I
like
mean, it
no.
is it is
Yeah.
like she did that. I don't think there's nobody that could come behind her and add anything. That thing was amazing. And so my brother watched it on it's on YouTube. And so
Mm.
he pulled it up and he watched, and it's like we all
Oh,
can attest.
wow.
We've witnessed all of these things. And if she did it in the same stages that Mama walked through it, I was like, this is crazy to me. But
Yeah.
you
That makes me think of a part in my book where it say the day that everything changed. Excuse me, guys. The day that everything changed.
Mhm.
And I remember having a conversation with my mom, and she asked me, she said, "Robin, when can I go home?" And I asked her to repeat herself. I said, "What did you say, Mom?" She said, "When can I go home?" I said, "Mom, you can go home whenever you get ready." Well, at that time, I wasn't thinking home with the Lord. I was thinking home to the house,
That's right.
because there are times she have went into the hospital and she wanted to leave and go home.
Mhm.
So at that moment, when she closed her eyes, I still didn't think about it. And one day I was riding down the street and it hits me, and I just began to cry,
Mhm.
and I started having regrets. I started thinking I gave her permission to leave us. You know, that was going through my mind,
Mhm.
and I felt later it was more of, she probably felt like I would be the one that would be in control of things, and she
Mhm.
wanted to make sure that I was ready. And
Mhm.
I told her, "You can go home whenever you get ready."
Yeah.
So I remember visiting her gravesite, and I never forget this day. I screamed, I hollered, I
Mhm.
cried, but I needed to do all of that
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
because after I done it, I felt better and
Hmm.
I understood at that moment why she asked me. So yeah, it's like they just know,
Oh, yeah.
and you don't think about it right then. You think about it after the
Mm,
fact. So that was very hard for me, very hard for me.
I'm sure.
But
My mom was so brave with her transition. January, she said, "Get that stool and come sit here." And I was like, okay, pull up the stool. And she said, P, she said, I know I'm dying. I said, Mama, please. She said, no, 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 ain't no please. She said, I know that I'm dying, and you know too. I said, well, the doctor said, I said, but he don't have the final say. She said, no, he didn't have the final say. And I said, Mom, and I remember asking her, I said, are you afraid? And she said, no.
hmm
Looking at her, I said, Mama, you not nervous? You not? She said, P, if I tell you that I am afraid, I would be lying. She said, when God is ready for me, he's coming.
oh yes.
There ain't nothing nobody can do about it. So no. And so with mama with the brain tumor, when the doctor he called her, she said, call my daughter in Atlanta. So he called my husband and I, we were in Walmart walking. And so she said, the doctor calling you. So when he called, I got on the phone, talked to him. And so he gave options of what could possibly happen. He said, but she's not going to die today, but it's going to be a process. And so I remember thinking, oh God, how much longer? And I'm just every day that was always on my heart, like, Lord, please, not today. Don't take my mama. Don't take my mama. I'm begging, begging. And he said about the brain tumor, so she could have surgery. She could have went through her brain or they could go through her back. But either way, Mamo had gotten so weak and her muscles was just deteriorating. He said she doesn't have the physical capacity to even do physical therapy. So if we do it, it may be this, it may be that. And she said, you know what? Absolutely not. She said, I'm not going anywhere till God says so. I don't want them cutting on me. I don't want to do whatever, whatever. And she was just, I was like, are you sure? I said, Mama, are you sure? I said, well, whatever you want to do, that's what I want. Whatever you say, that's what we're doing. And so my daddy was like, well, that's what she said. So we're gonna whatever. And so we just embraced her for 3.5 years, and she enjoyed as she got weaker over time. But she had the conversation with me and saying, and so I remember going to her one day, and I said, "What would you like to be buried in?" And just having conversation. And she
Uh-huh.
said, well, I think the purple gown you bought for my 70th birthday. And I said, okay, girl. I said, so you going out of style? Yes, girl. And so we laughing about it.
Mhm.
So I go in the closet, I pulled it, and she had some suits in there. She had lost a lot of weight over the years. She had lost a lot of weight. So I
Mhm.
said, well, Mama, you got this suit, you got this, you got that. And I said, well, which one? She said, no, I want to wear the purple. I said, no, but I'm gonna change your clothes. We gonna change. She said, change my clothes. She said, oh, yes, honey, you can do it. Like, so we in there laughing. It was such a beautiful moment. And it's like I said, she said, I said, yeah. So we'll wear you put one of your suits on for the weight, and then we will
Mhm.
change you and put the gown on. With your tiara and as you wait. She said, listen. She said, oh, girl, I'm ready for that. I was like, Lord have mercy. But it was such a beautiful thing. And I said, I would give anything to have that moment. It meant the world. So she
Yes.
was ready, embracing it. And so
You
it kind of
know,
helped me a little bit.
that's that's how my mom was. I remember she called me and my siblings over to the house and she wanted to talk to us. And
Yeah.
of course we came. She's always doing something, cooking or
Uh-huh.
whatever. So we get there. She's like, y'all have a seat. And so y'all got some pen and piece of paper. And we like, what we need this for? Okay. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is what I who I want to sing.
That's
This I
right.
said, what are you talking about? She said, I'm planning my funeral. I said, no. I said, I don't want to hear that. She said, well, you better hear it because one day you're gonna have to go too.
That's right.
So I sat down. I didn't write anything down. I just kind of like kept it up there. And she was basically telling me what dress she wanted. She said, I'm going to wear that dress you bought me for Mother's Day about a couple years ago. And I'm thinking, what dress? Well, she still had the dress in her closet with the tag on it. She wanted to tell me who she wanted to minister at her funeral.
Okay.
She wanted the pastor. She was telling me about where she kept all her jewelry at, so I can pick some of that out for her. And she was just going on and on and on. And check this out. Then she went into the house and she started calling out her sisters, and she had pictures. She had a channel that she was giving away. She was just giving stuff away. And I'm like, why are you giving this stuff away? But again, you don't think about it until after they gone.
Right.
It's like they know.
They're
It's
getting
like
ready.
they know. They're
Yeah.
getting ready. But
Hmm.
we're not ready. We're never ready.
Yeah.
And her favorite word was, you better hope you get to live be my age one day. That's all she kept saying. That's
Yeah.
all she kept saying.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but we put it away just the way she wanted to be put away.
That is
Everything that she asked for, we gave to it. We did it.
that is awesome. Well, again, I applaud you for writing that because I can imagine, writing it as you're so grieving, and it's only been a year. So to do it, and
Hmm.
for me, I guess time doesn't even really for me. Time don't matter because, like I said, it's been 10 years. My birthday, my mom closed her eyes, and I thought that was the worst thing could have ever happened to me.
Yeah.
As time progressed, I realized that that was a blessing that God gave me. Out of all my siblings, he could have chose one of their day. I don't know why he chose my day, but I
Hmm.
know the relationship that I had with my mom. It wasn't like theirs. Theirs wasn't like mine, and mine wasn't like theirs. And so it wasn't. She was just the most amazing woman that loved you and met you where you are, and loved on each one of us whatever we needed. She was that person who she needed to be. And so I'm grateful. And so out of the 36 years that I've been in Atlanta, my mother came every year, months at a time, for the first 24 years of my life. Okay, 24 years. It was me and her, moments after moments. So I take all that. Um,
I can't.
I take it and I have it in this little toolbox, in my own little jukebox. I
I
mean,
can't hear nobody. I
you
can't hear.
can't. Well, I'm not sure what is happening. Can you hear
I
me?
don't know what's going on.
The technical difficulties. Not sure what. Not sure. Can you hear me? Because I do hear some static. Can you hear Robin? We apologize. Not sure what's happening.
Yeah, she's frozen for the moment.
I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but
let's see. What
just
what are we looking at as far as time?
we're at 38
Okay, we're gonna
minutes
try.
live, so the time is 8:45.
Okay, okay. Well, hopefully she'll come back on. But do you have any words before we? I pray she'll pop back on before we
Yeah,
close
I'm
that.
here.
Okay,
Okay.
can you hear us?
I can hear all of you guys, both of you guys now.
Oh,
I don't know what
good.
happened. I'm
Okay, well, we're
sorry.
not going to delay it. We won't delay it.
No,
Yeah,
that's
but
But right
that's
I will say, losing two women in my life, like I said, my mother-in-law as well as my mother, um, it wasn't easy writing this journal because there were times I picked it up to write and I put it back down.
right
Um,
is
then a couple months later, I picked it back up. I started again, and I laid it back down. It was hard. I couldn't do it, but in the midst of me writing, you know, God gives a purpose. Everyone has a purpose, and that journal was. about grief was the purpose. It was a purpose God gave to me. So I had to complete it. I had to finish it. And like I said, it's a journal, more of a companion for those that's learning how to live with loss while moving forward with love. So it takes time, like I said.
Absolutely. That's what says I
Yeah.
cherish the moment. I cherish the moment because, like I said, my toolbox, my jewel, not tool, but my jewel box, the gems that are in my box,
Uh-huh.
nobody else box. I had my life, but 24 years where it's me and my mama, just me and mama at
Yes.
my house. And so just sharing and loving and crying and being there. And if I'm sick, and it was just a lot. And so I am grateful. So when I look back, I said, God, you gave me such an amazing person,
Oh yeah.
an assignment to be my mama. And for that, I am forever grateful. Wish I could have another day, but I know that
Mhm.
won't happen. So I cherish every moment that I had with her. My daddy was like no other. He was that gentle giant. And so I was telling somebody that if I could snap my fingers and go back home and let my daddy pay my bills, baby, I would. Today, I would let this old man do what he do. And so great, 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 great people. But we are blessed. It's, I
Yeah.
encourage everyone to cherish your parents while you have them. Daddy, mom,
Exactly.
cherish, and even siblings, because we take it for
Mhm.
granted and we get upset with each other and not talking weeks and months.
Yeah.
It's like you can't get the time back.
You
Stop
definitely can't
wasting
get the
time.
time back.
Stop being petty about every little thing and being offensive, being offended, and where you
Hmm.
like time is moving.
Time is moving. Time is not waiting on anyone. That's why it's very important to just try to get along with everybody. And, my mom, she always said, I want you guys to stick together. You know,
Um,
that was one of her things. She was all about family. She was
yeah,
definitely all about family.
there's nobody who, there's no one can replace family, and you try,
Exactly.
but I know that there are times where sometimes family becomes relative, and that's
Mhm.
their choice. So if they choose that, you got to accept that, embrace
Yes.
it, but do all that you can do to keep the peace and just love on one another, because at the end of the day, baby, you don't get no do-overs. There is
You
no
don't get
do-over.
no do over.
Life
That's right.
is what it is. Life is. People
Life is
are
life.
gonna say what you like, always do what you want. You don't get to have your way. They don't get to have their way. But at the end of the day, let's meet in the middle and agree to disagree and let it be what it is and keep on
Exactly.
and living. But
Exactly.
everybody's not there. Everybody's not there. So we pray for those that are not, and those that are, love on them.
And one of the things I liked about my mom, like I said, she was all about family. Um, she always having people at her house, always feeding. She was that woman that, how people say, they'll give you the shirt off your back. Well, my mom, she was truly that person. If she had $10, she gonna give you half of that money. That's just how she was. She was special. And anytime that, I remember a situation where she had made me mad and she called me the next day and I'm like, Mom, you remember what you said to me? She said, Oh, girl, that's old news. That's how
Okay,
that's how she was. She say what's on her mind. She
you
say
still
what
thinking
she
about that girl? Yesterday is
hey,
gone. We on our
okay.
way.
She meant what she said. She didn't care if she hurt your feelings.
Listen,
But it was all out of love.
I
It was
love.
all out of love.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all out of love. That's just who she was. And
I,
that's why she's so missed because of who she was, just being honest, just being true. Yep.
well, thank God for breathing again, learning to breathe again. And you're right, you have to learn
You
because
have to.
it, yeah, it is a real thing. And so when I sent text tonight and earlier, I let them know grief is a real thing,
It's real.
real thing. So
It's
if
real.
you have not endured and had the experience to lose a parent, sibling, whatever, consider yourself tremendously blessed.
Hmm.
Because
Exactly. And like I said, the journal, it's not written, it's more of a guide. It's more of a guide for a companion because, again, you're learning how to live with loss. you're moving forward with love.
So
Those memories.
paying for a spouse or for the mate
I
that
can't
has
hear you.
lost someone?
Repeat yourself.
Are you saying a loss, for a companion of someone that has lost a spouse or someone that has lost a family member? Because I'm missing
Well,
something.
it's a guide. What they're learning to breathe again. It's more of a guide for companion. You know, it can grief can be not just through death. It can be a loss of a job. It can be a loss of friendship. So this book, it can be whatever you like it to be.
Okay. Yeah,
Hmm.
I wanted to be clear. See, I wasn't even aware of that, but okay.
Hmm.
So,
Yes,
you think,
they
okay,
help you get through it.
oh,
Not just grief.
honey,
You
and
know,
grief, you grieving, you could grieve. Like I said, they walking around and you grieving the loss of
Uh,
whatever.
you could be
Of,
grieving the loss of a job, grieving the loss of a friendship, grieving the loss of finance.
yeah, it could be several things,
Hmm.
several things. So, okay, I gained some clarity on that.
Okay.
All right, lovable Natasha, do you have any words before we bring it to a close? And Arthur Robin will share.
Well, just thank you for your perspective and thank you for your bravery in writing that journal. It's
Okay.
going to be more help than you would ever imagine. So thank you.
Mm,
Yes. And even though I wrote it, I have to go back and read it again too, because like I
Oh
said,
yeah.
I am still grieving as well.
Oh yes.
Hmm.
okay. So, Robin, if you would share with the viewers where they can purchase the book and how they can get it, they may have a comment or some question for you that maybe you didn't touch on, or possibly wanting you to come to speak at a particular event or faith-based entity. I'm not sure, but just
Okay.
let them know.
So the book is now on Amazon, Learning to Breathe Again, in my name, Robin Davis. If you have questions about the book or you like to purchase a book, again, you can go and purchase it on Amazon. You can also reach out to me, 251-786-1826. I actually have books on hand right now. Um, and my hope is basically that this journal meets you exactly right where you are, and just to know that you're not alone.
Okay.
You're not alone.
You're not alone. That's good right there. That's good. Well, it has been a blessing. It's been a pleasure to chat it up with you.
Thank
I think
you.
that something you said this evening hit home for several people, and
Yes.
they may not be on. So, just FYI, if you see the red light, that means you're still live. But if the red light is no longer on, that means you are watching the replay. So, we're going to ask you to please share it because
Yes.
people need the information. They need to hear, to get some help or insight because they could just possibly be going through it at this very moment. Because we're all, every time a storm happens, either we are in the midst of the storm, we may be on the way out, or we may
I'm going
come
in it.
in. But at some point, we are in, life is lifing for everyone. And so everybody handles grief differently. They accept it and deal with it differently. There is no right or wrong way to grieve.
That's right.
It's just, it is your process and your journey. It is for you to walk it the way that you are walking it with God's help and His grace. So I tell people, don't let anybody say, "Oh, you should be over it by now. It's
Um,
10 years, it's been 5 years." But you don't get to dictate, tell me or nobody else that. Everybody, if you need counseling, go to counseling. Help, you go before God
mhm.
and trust Him in your process. And so whatever that process is, it is. Everybody different. And so I'm not one of these ones, once they pass on, "Oh, I don't talk about them because I
Mhm.
don't do that." Or, well, hey, if that works for you, then that's for you. But
Exactly.
me and mine, oh, I hold on to the memories. I want
Hold
to
on
remember
to the
how
memories.
they made me laugh, how they have empowered me, encouraged me, how they've been whatever they were, who they were to me, and I love it. And so I keep their memory. I believe in keeping the memories alive. And so,
Yes.
my process is different. Now, what theirs is, yours is, it is your process. So we thank you.
Thank
Grief
you
is
for
real.
having me.
And so it has been a blessing, and we respect you and honor you for being brave to do what you did. And so we speak blessings upon you and your family. And I pray that God will bless you immensely in your book sales and open doors and opportunities for you to be able to go travel and share the book because it is needed. So thank you very much again for saying yes to the Healing Huddle podcast. Yes to God for doing what you've done. And we look forward to hearing good things from you later.
Thank you.
So it
Thank
is
you for having me.
absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, lovable Latasha, do you have anything? If not, we are out.
Nope, I'm good to go.
All right. Well, thank you, Queen Robin. May God bless you.
God
Thank you
bless
so
you guys as well. Thank you so
much.
much.
Absolutely. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
All right, family. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to share the episode. Go to YouTube. It'll be up in a few seconds, and you can share the link with family and friends that may need it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love your Facebook for the love. Thank you so much. We look
Thank
forward to
you.
seeing you in 2 weeks.
Bye
Healing
bye.
Hub coming for you. Bye bye.
Blessed is she who believes that God will fulfill every promise spoken to her. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's the divas with a destiny, books, purpose, and accessories. Yes, we're favored by God, approved and affirmed. Here to awaken your destiny, yeah, yeah, yeah. You've tuned into the Healing Huddle, where we turn to the Word and our struggles. We are God's royalty. Whatever God promised, it belongs to me. Yes, whatever God said, it is our decree.